Well, without too much R&R, without a ton of, yesterday night post workout stuff, we're already moving ahead and going into back and biceps. I had a protein shake last night to kind of get a little bit of recovery before this morning, but that's pretty much it. For other than that, like just like sitting and digesting in my stomach over the night, it's pretty much like kind of a fasted morning, light day. It's kind of something I haven't really talked about before. The idea of a fasted workout, where you just don't really have a lot of food in your system. I don't really think it's necessarily a healthy thing. Some people praise the benefits of fasted cardio or fasted lifting and then getting in all the protein afterwards and having a day, where you're full after, and it's not like you're eating and then getting full, or you're eating and getting full before a workout, feeling sick during the workout, and then afterwards you just are completely empty of everything. To some people it might feel like there are benefits. To me, I kind of want to make sure I'm fueled throughout the day if I'm doing a night lift, and then in the mornings, I like to get at least a little bit of breakfast. But if I can't, fasted is sometimes the move. I'm not really a big breakfast guy anyways, so it just kind of depends for me. It's different strokes for different folks, I guess. It's kind of the main saying of it, because it's just kind of what works for you, in my opinion. Always err on the side of eating and eating, healthy full meals. But if you can't really do that, I don't think fasted is necessarily a bad way to do things, especially, if you're consistently fasted weighing in the morning and stuff. That's like really the only thing you need to do fasted is if you're weighing, just do it consistently every morning, weighing on the fasted side so it's consistent. You want to make sure whatever you're doing workout wise, you continue to do it in kind of the same fashion, even if it's the wrong fashion. If you, like I was saying, like marking off weight a little heavier than it actually is, but you've been marking it wrong the entire time. As long as you consistently kind of mark it wrong, or at least go back in your history and change your log to reflect some of the mistakes that you've been doing, then it feels like it's real. Um, but you don't want to keep up mistakes. That might be a little controversial, me saying that you want to be consistent with whatever you're doing. Because, like lifting wise, if you have bad form, if you have bad something, fix it. That's not a mistake that you want to consistently make. I just mean log wise, tracking wise, whatever you're doing, even if it's not optimally, like maybe what online, if you look, it doesn't say it's optimal to do a bunch of things fasted. It doesn't say it's optimal to lift at a certain time. It's not optimal to do something. If it works for you and it's not inherently destructive and you still have good form and you're doing well with your lifts, then, just keep up the consistency with whatever kind of flows within you. That's something that you kind of realize the more you lift, is that you get to this point where it's kind of a lot of feeling. It's a lot of feeling, but it's also just a lot of, personal checks. There's a lot of things you can inherently tell in the middle of a lift that are completely different than what goes on in your head. I mean, yesterday for me was a perfect example. Getting all hyped for bench and then getting stopped by some heavy benches and stuff. It just depends. So you need to be ready for little changes like that, little inconsistencies. But besides, the flow of yourself and the idea of fasted workouts, starting a fasted workout, back in biceps, it's going to be a good day. I have, first starting off a weight increase, 9 for pull-ups. So we're going to grind that out as hard as we can. Okay, pull-ups, we're increasing from 8 to 9 right now. 8 I was pretty effectively able to manage last time. This time it's more about just kind of like the pull. We're not like tolerating any cheat reps or anything, but 8s are definitely very strenuous reps because it's the very last part of it. So 9 is just going to be pushing to a part of the workout I'm not exactly used to, or that my body's at least not used to. So it's definitely going to be more pressure. So we're just going to go for more functionality rather than, I guess control, but I still feel like I can get it controlled with 9. That was still good control with 9. I felt like my grip was pretty good on that one once I adjusted it. Pushing onward to second set for 9. Might want to get a little bit better of a wrap on my hands, but I'm just going to probably recreate the same thing with a little more breathing and a little bit better grip. Okay, I think 9th rep was definitely a pull and a half, but still pretty good. Tried to eliminate the swinging there around the 5th or 6th rep. Last set of 9. Basically, I don't really have a huge plan for this one. Not as much rest as before, so just wanting to grind out for as much as possible. Definitely the fatigue and lactic acid builds up around last time it built up around the 6th or 7th rep, and then this time it might build up even earlier, but I don't want to drop. That's the only thing I don't want to do. I just don't want to hit the floor. I want to be on the bar at all times, just pushing through as much as possible. Okay, definitely not limited ROM, but not shin to bar, but you take what you kind of get when you kind of go for those high reps. That's a great place to start. I think there's 3 things I've learned about hammer curls since, I've had people critiquing my form and different things. It's that, 1, you need to be not swinging the weight up. I mean, that's I already knew that, but it's something I have to always keep in mind when I'm doing it, just to make sure I'm getting as much, strain on my biceps as possible. Number 2 is that you gotta keep your arms at your side. Basically, I on the last one, people were saying that my arms were out too far when I was doing it, and that for the most strain, you need to be going straight up along your biceps, which, that makes sense. It's more of a curl if you do it that way, but it's just to the side, just slightly different. And then the last part about it is that you keep a lower weight off to the side so you can have a deload, which that wasn't even a thought I really had before about if I failed just having a weight to swap to real fast, because I hadn't really tried it a lot, but that was a good suggestion by you guys to add that, so that's what I'm going to do. I got 35 for 12, very, very strict form today, and if I can't get it, then it swaps to the 30s, and I do just as strict form as before, and just finish the rest out for 30s. So first set, 35 for 12, strict form. Okay, 9 reps is what we got. So 3 more with the 30s. Okay, so we got 35 for 9 and 30s for 3. That's a good spot. For the next 2 sets, we're basically just going to try to do the same thing as we did before. Get 9 very, very strong reps in, and then go for the 30s and just grind out that same level of strictness with it. That's kind of the split we want with this, because with the hammer curls, it's all about the brachialis, I think is the name. It's that muscle that kind of is the hidden part about biceps, but that can make your biceps like blow up a ton. So that's what we're aiming for here. That's the main goal, is that brachialis stretch and tension and growth. Okay, 9 good reps with that. And now we want the 3, same tension. Okay, very hard to get it up, but my biceps feel like they're about to explode. Okay, the lactic acid is screaming, but I want to go ahead and knock out this last set of this. We got to keep things moving along, regardless of how much the pain might be building up. But last set, we keep that strictness regardless of the pain. We want that good form. I don't like the way that last one looked, but we still got 3 more of this. Okay, that's failure. Can't get any more of that. That's definitely where I'm going to call it. Definitely feels like somewhat of a stain on hammer curls, but at the same time, I did hammer curls perfect form. So I know that perfect form, that's, where I stack up. It's right there on the very edge of it. So, it's important to do good form like that, and it's important to push yourself under the right conditions. So I'm thankful that I can get humbled like that and get put in my place when I'm not doing the right workout. So now hammer curls will be all about trying to iron out those imperfections. But now we also have another weight increase today, because instead of doing a plate and a 35 like we have been doing, we're up to 2 plates on either side. So now things get a little bit more tricky. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start with lateral lat pull downs. Why did I say lateral pull downs? My brain isn't working. So going for 12 on these. Not exactly sure how much I'll get, but we're going to pull regardless. Okay, all 12 is definitely a strain on that for sure. But I think it's doable for the next 2 sets. Hammer curls, I wasn't sure if it was doable, but now I know it's doable. Second set with a little bit of generous rest period to get me over prepared for this. Really, it's about setting my knees now. About getting my arms well equipped to take on such heavy weight. Lots of breath lost. Lots of breath lost. Gonna have to try and manage breathing correctly next time. Last set now. I very much so got in the days in between that last rest period. I was just vibing, and I was just staring out the window, and I'm kind of letting time get away from me. I want to make sure I can do everything effectively and get all the reps. So definitely going to try to grind out this last one and move into the next part of the workout with grace and speed. That was good. That was good. The lats are most definitely feeling that. Maybe a little bit of lean back pulling, but this is definitely the one where everything's increasing. This is the workout that I've been talking about for the last few workouts. Well, everything would be on the verge of an increase if it weren't for this next part of the workout, which gets a weight increase next workout, but this time is the final time we're doing what weight, everybody? Say it with me now. Have you been watching the videos for a while? Do you know what it is? It's 160. You're supposed to say it back like it's Dora, is actually what you're supposed to do. But that's okay. I'll remind you guys. We got 160 going for 8 reps, and we're focusing on that hard pull. The explosiveness in my back is what we target with this one, which back is an explosive muscle anyways. You get a bunch of pull, a bunch of strain from it, rocking you up on pull-ups, rocking you upwards on lat pull-downs, rocking you when you're pulling straight back for rear delt rows. But in general, the row is, you want that explosiveness for it, so you can push it all the way straight back to your back, which is why we do this heavier weight for 8, and we have our chest supported, so we're not falling forward when we're doing it. We are not having to worry about setting the cores. We're just focusing on pull, which is the best part of it. So, 8 reps. You can feel that brick of tension, almost like a rubber band, just vibrating and vibrating throughout the back. I love rows. Second set with the back strain. The sun's starting to peek out a little bit, so that's how I know the morning is slowly starting to progress. But for now, not really exactly focused on the morningness of it. The time may run out if it may run out, but I want to focus on the strain on everything and the rest and recovery I'm getting, not focus on just, I guess, half working through a workout and then putting out a bad result. We want everything to be good. Even if you don't get as many sets, I'm not taking any half measures. Okay, pretty good on that one. Definitely setting myself up for a weight increase soon, doing both plates. It'll be nice to be working on both plates, on both this and lat pull downs. Last set of these, not much yap, more just pulling. That's all I'm really feeling for the rest of chest supported rows. Good control on those. Good finisher. Not much left to say. We'll just go ahead and move on. Okay. Kind of running out of time here, so this is definitely going to be the last thing I do, at least for now. I might come back and do rear delt tonight if I have extra time, but we're doing this for 70s for 7. That's what I want for all 3 sets, because last time I did 70s for 7, 6, and then 5, kind of a ladder downward. Now I just want to keep it consistent basically the whole time, so that's what I'm going to try to gun for this one. It's just full on, full bicep strain, 70s for 7. So let's go ahead and work this out. I feel like I can't get past that 4th one. I'll go ahead and take a pause on it for now. Okay, that was definitely, 4 reps is definitely not what we wanted. I'm going to try to get 7 here. I don't know why it was so hard. Maybe it was because I went so insane on hammer curls, but I definitely don't want to set it off at 4. I'm going to try to make up the difference, maybe by adding a 4th set and going for 3. But that's just depending on how this next set goes, because I'm honestly kind of surprised. Fifth rep is pushing me down so much. No lie, guys. This is draining my spirits. You know, I've had a couple good days. I've had good lifts. I've had good eating, and reaching these maximum thresholds, especially towards the beginning of the year when I'm trying to push myself really hard, it's definitely demoralizing, but that's just because the gratification isn't instant. I mean, I know this is just a lifelong battle. This is an uphill journey, and the valleys are just something that have to subside. It's something you just have to live with. But when you're trying to increase like all the time, it's just hard to account and discount for the good days, for the bad days. It's hard to really build up that mental toughness to be able to push past things. But when you really want 7 reps and you get 4 with a 5th strain rep, how that doesn't feel like true growth, you know? It feels like the growth is limited. So for this last set, I'm definitely gonna try to just maximize whatever I can do, just for as much as possible. Gunning still for 7, but if I can't get it, it's just gonna be the strength ceiling of what it is, and then we just look ahead to the coming workouts. To get that up. 4 is the max we have for now. Let's cut it to a talk. All right, these past couple days have been pretty crazy, guys. I've been non-stop filming for the upcoming long form video. I'm very, very excited about it. That's why I'm hyping it up, promoting it a lot, but that means kind of the gym has fallen a bit. I haven't been filming after talks that well. It's actually Friday morning right now when I'm filming this, so whenever this episode comes out, it'll actually I'll have to be on my grind today, actually editing it out, which is fine with me. I was pretty happy with how back and biceps went the other day, with how I managed stuff like pull-ups and different things, with how I managed that pull-downs and different things. But even though it was only like 2 days ago, sometimes a couple days can feel like a lifetime when you're in college, when you're grinding on assignments, and when I'm trying to work out this YouTube thing on the side. It's it's stacking on top of itself. Not that I don't love it, not that like I'm trying to complain. It just it does. It's kind of a necessary evil of being a student, is that you just kind of get overloaded with a lot of stuff. But that's okay. I don't mind it. Busy weeks are what we thrive for, because busy weeks produce busy results, which is kind of what it is. But that I haven't liked how the gym's kind of fallen by the wayside. But today I'm doing a little bit of a cardio day, so I'm just filming this little pre-talk a little bit. Later I'll film a pre-talk for the next video, because I'm behind on that too. But I'll probably show some type of recipe or different things, or some type of grocery haul or something. I don't really know. I'll figure it out as I go along. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video, like genuinely pulling up, watching through to the end. It means a lot to me. I'm very grateful, and I will see you guys in another one. Bye bye.